All right, so I think the beginning of this section will be a little bit of review, but then it'll get a little harder. Also, the final section for Unit 3, it looks like. So there's kind of like multiple pieces inside. And then next week we'll review for Test 3 and go from there. So identify the restricted values. So they're giving me this expression right here. So what is the restricted value?
X plus 7. Carl said it.
Yeah, you gotta use this to find it, right? So if you can't see it, then what you have to do is take whatever's in the bottom, set it equal to 0, and solve. So this is the restricted value. It can't be. So with the denominator will always be set equal to 0, yeah. Okay, so here's the homework assignment I was doing. They use t, I don't want to use t. So the restricted value is -7.
Could I see the number 1 again?
Mhm.
So all you did was just you found that the question, then you kind of just like took away 7, and that's how you got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're just basically trying to find out what makes the denominator 0, because you can't have that happen. So solve for it, and then you will know. Any questions on number 1?
So this would be the restricted value for that.
Yeah, -7 is a restricted one. We can't use it. Okay. So number 2, the homework. Same deal. But you can't tell by looking at it. Set the denominator equal to 0. And you have all solved a bunch of quadratics, right? So we know we have to factor. Factor this would be -4 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you solve it. So y cannot be -2 or 4. So the restricted values are -2 and 4. Here's the question. They want me to use the and, my bad. So be careful when you do this. Put y equals -2 and this. Okay, any questions on 1 and 2? I'm going to move on to something else now.
I have the same question, sir.
This one?
The same numbers and
Okay,
the same, yeah, the same question basically.
number 3. Write the domain. Okay. Okay. So next one. To find the domain, you basically have to find out what is restricted and then work around it. That's all you got to do. So for the restricted, so first, find the restricted value. We said just set the denominator equal to 0 because we know that can't happen. When you solve for x, we know this is a restricted part. So step 2, graph a number line around x equals 6. Okay, so we said that this can happen. We have a hole at 6. So to find the domain, basically say everything after 6, right? So this will be parentheses 6 to infinity, everything on the right side. Y'all agree? And then everything after this, 6 to infinity, right?
Yes.
Everything below would be this. Because we only have one restriction, so everything else is fine. So you just write these two pieces together. And that's it. That makes sense. So that's how you get this. Any questions on number 3?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
We always have to put that U in the middle.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
combining two sections, or whenever you combine more than one section, you got to put a U. So this
Okay.
one union with this one. So if there was like 3 spots, you'd have another one.
So what does the U like represent though?
Represents a union. So
Oh,
it's not
okay,
a
union.
U,
Okay.
it's a union symbol. If
Mm-hmm.
we look at the homework, it looks a little different. I just can't draw very well. See, it's like a It's a set symbol from set theory. So we have a set combined with another set. That's what that means.
Okay, thank you, sir.
In union with this section. Okay. And I feel like we mentioned asymptotes as well. Yeah, remember? Or no?
I don't remember this.
No?
No.
I don't either.
Okay, well, let's talk about it anyway. It's all good. Let me switch over. Okay. So just a quick note. The vertical asymptotes happen when the denominator, oh, let me put this better. When a value makes the denominator 0. So whatever makes the denominator 0 is going to be the asymptote. So basically what we just did earlier, right? The restricted value is the same thing as the asymptote, except it's considered to be a line instead of a value. So if you solve for this, right, this is the vertical asymptote. Okay. So that's how you find it, and this is what they're going to want. But what is it? Hopefully you saw the videos. Now let me graph it real quick just in case. Okay. The asymptote is -3. I just put X for now. So any value that it can't cross, right, it's a restricted value, it approaches it and gets infinitely close but never actually goes there. Okay. So you can see no matter how much we scroll, it's never gonna happen. Okay. So the answer would be equals -3. That's how you graph it. Or sorry, that's how you answer the question here. Any questions on number 4? Is that okay?
All right so far. Was all right.
The vertical asymptotes be at the restricted values. Okay, you move on then. Number 5 is the same kind of thing, it's a little harder. 6. Okay. Can you ask me the next question? So we graph the function by using transformation. So we need to know or have the parent function graph that I sent you, or remember what it looks like. So it's going to be the same type of graph, but it's going to be shifted. Which way are we going to be shifted?
Wouldn't it be like if this is a transformation, right?
Yeah, we're transforming this original up here.
It would be going. Wouldn't it be going like down?
Well, if it's in the parentheses or
Oh, it would be
already
going to
X.
the. It would be going to possibly the right.
Yeah, so it'd be shifted from the original spot for this one to the right 3. Yeah. Let me find my grapher again so you can remember. So here's the original. Oops. So you can see the transformation, right? It's shifting the green one to the right 3. Okay. That's what I want you to remember. Remember what the original looks like from that, or have that printout of all the parent functions, and then remember what this minus 3 does. Okay. Let's look at the question. Now we gotta learn how do we use this program here. Let's do plot all necessary asymptotes. So where is the asymptote? Going to be at 3, right? So I plug in 3, it's going to make the bottom 0. It's a vertical asymptote. Oops, there it goes. Okay. Now we need a couple of points to graph this. Make sure at least 2 points on each side of the asymptote. Okay. So we're going to do this on paper. is number 5, I think, or 6. Let's see. Yeah, number 6. So if you do not have a graphing calculator, so this is what they want you to do. Oops, my mistake. All right. -3. Okay, so plug in any easy numbers and make a little table. Doesn't matter. X and Y or f of x. If I plug in 0, well, just an easy. I think it's just going to be fractions. 2 would be good because f of 2 would be 1 over 2 minus 3, which is negative. Oh, I guess I'll be right back. You pick 2
Is it
because
like a random number?
you pick anything you want. We're just putting points because it said pick 2 points on either side of the asymptote, right? The asymptote, let's call it VA, is x equal to 3. So anything after 3, anything before 3 is fine. I recommend, what's it called?
Do you choose like the fraction you made, 1 over -1? Is that the second point?
So I plug in 2, right? F of 2 is happening right here.
Yeah.
So I picked it because I knew it'd give me a pretty number. So when I plug in 2, I get -1. And that's why I chose it. But I think no matter what, I'm going to end up getting a fraction at some point. If I plug in, what else can I do? 4. That give me another pretty number.
On mine, I got a fraction.
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
How do I point the second number?
Oh, good. What do you mean on the graph on the computer thing?
On the graph, yeah, because I have 1 on
Well,
mine, and then it just counted it
we need
wrong.
4 points, so let's wait up a second. Let's pick 1, I guess, or let's pick 0. So that'll be 1 over 2 minus, sorry, 1 over 0 minus 3, which is -1/3. Plug in 5. There we go. Sorry, let me write that a little nicer. That'll make that. I'll move this down. Sorry.
So we have to pick 4 points or 2 points?
2 points on either side of the vertical asymptote. That's what it says, right?
But can we still pick like the fractions?
Pick anything you want. There's no restrictions. As long as it's you know, move the whole thing. As long as it's on the graph, you're good. So I picked stuff really close and things that would give me pretty numbers. That's why I chose these, but you can pick anything you want. There's no restrictions other than 3. So if I plug in 0, I get this. Plug in 5, I get this. So they're my 4 points, right? 2, -1, 4, 1, 0, -3rd, 5, 1/2. Any questions? Any questions on just plotting points or
Uh,
finding points?
yeah, I'm just eager to see how it's answered.
Yeah, and that's come. We're about to do that, but before we do, y'all cool with this part?
Yeah, I understand. You can plug in any number and then you'll get the answer, even if it's a fraction.
All right, so let me know, guys. I'm gonna move on to the graphing part. All right, so it 2 points on this side, 2 points on the left side of that vertical line. So I'm gonna use this plotter point thing. So let me pick the 2 on the right first. I guess it don't matter. I'm gonna pick 2, -1. Plot that guy. 4 and 1. Plot that one. Then I got 1 on either side. 0. Got 2 on either side. So now go to the graph of function. So first thing you do is the vertical asymptote using your restricted value, right? Then plot 2 points on each side of the line. Then go ahead and graph this.
So you use the square area to plug it in?
Let me double check my stuff here. That looks too funky. Hold on. Looks nothing like the one we did on the machine earlier, or the website. So 5. Yeah, let me start over. So vertical asymptote was right, down was right. Okay, and then to plot the points. So double check my work on the points. 2 minus 3 is -1, so we should have 2 -1 is correct. 4, if I plug in 4, I should get a +1. So 4, 1 is correct. If I plug in 0, you get -3, which would be -1/3. So 0, -1/3. Okay, plug in 5, I get 1/2. Looks the same, right? Let me see. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. What did I do wrong? This, this 3. So it's supposed to look like this. Oh, I forgot. Dang it. The horizontal asymptote. My bad. So vertical, one more time. Horizontal. So I'm gonna send you some notes in a moment. And if you saw the video, you should remember if the degree of the denominator is higher than the numerator, you're gonna have a horizontal asymptote. Okay. So I have a vertical and a horizontal. After you do those two, then you do the the points. Okay, so now it'll be guided by both asymptotes. There we go. Anyway, sorry. Well, I did that 3 or 4 times.
It plugs
makes
it in, like it puts the curves in.
Yeah, it'll do the curves automatically once you have the asymptotes and 4 points. But you gotta have 2 points on one side of the asymptote and the other side. It can't just be 4 on one side. One moment. All right, let me. You guys have any question on this one, or is it okay?
Some. What happens if they're like out of bounds?
What do you mean?
What if they're like out of bounds? Because apparently I got one of mine out of bounds. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing I was mentioning earlier. Remember, I said you can pick anything you want technically, but if the numbers are too big and they're not in the box, then it won't pop up.
Yeah,
So you
because
gotta
I
pick
tried
stuff
to do it,
kind
and then
of. I mean, technically you can pick anything, but this program will restrict you to y values in this box and x values in this box. Does that make sense?
yeah, because I tried to do like 1/7, and it restricted me. I'm gonna try to do another one.
Yeah, just pick a different point. Pick one point's close to the asymptote. That might make it easier.
I picked one. It looks kind of weird, but it allowed me to do it. So it can't. It doesn't. It restricts me if I don't see it. I think.
Right. If it's out of bounds, meaning out of this box, then yeah.
Yeah, and I can just
Pick something closer.
pick something close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might work. I don't know if it'll work, but I'll try to do it. It said I got it wrong.
Double check all your points. But let me send you all some notes because I didn't send you the asymptote stuff yet, right?
I don't know.
And
I think I still have. I think I have like 5 points already. Maybe that's why you get it wrong. Wait. Hold on a second. Um, I don't know. I don't honestly don't know what I'm getting wrong, sir. I'm trying to figure it out.
okay, well, we'll hold off on that. We'll come back to. We can ask questions after we're done. Do some homework.
Right.
It's probably like a silly point plug-in, or maybe you forgot you got the asymptote wrong or something. Sure you got most of it right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I'm trying. I have the. So like mine is like 1/x+1, and I put it to the left, the -1. Then I also the horizontal because it's 1/x+1. I put it at 0, 0.
Okay. All right, so save these notes because it'll simplify everything and you don't have to write a bunch of stuff. A lot of this is in the video. If you saw it and took notes, then a lot of it will be on this PDF. But let me open it and we can look at it together. One moment. All right. Yeah, open it up if you can. I'm going to share it for a little bit. Can y'all see this? Okay, thanks. So if it's vertical, that's the one we were talking about. Whatever makes the bottom, the denominator 0, it's gonna be x equal to that number, whatever it is. Now, horizontal will depend on the degrees of the denominator and numerator. If the denominator is smaller, where is it? N is the degree of the numerator, and D is the degree of the denominator. So if the denominator has a bigger degree, that's the number one saying. If the numerator is less than the denominator, then y equal to 0 is the horizontal asymptote, meaning that asymptote is right on 0, 0, going all the way across. If the degrees are equal, though, you got to divide the leading coefficients, and that whatever number that is going to be the answer. If the numerator is bigger, then it's going to be a harder question. It's going to have a oblique asymptote. I don't know if it's going to come up in this homework or not. All the notes here for every possible scenario. We're mostly going to see 1 and 2, and vertical is pretty, straightforward, right? Okay, so that's what we're gonna. So please have those notes up because I don't want to force you to write all that. Okay, so the next question was this one. You got to find the asymptotes first and then plot some points. So first, find the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptote. All right. So how do we find the vertical? Do you remember?
The vertical on the bottom, like x minus 2, you just turn it to the positive.
Yeah, I just saw. You said set it to 0, right?
Set is 0, yeah.
So this is my vertical asymptote right here. Now look at those notes. What is the degree of the question we're doing right now? Of the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator.
Both of them have the the x and stuff. There's no 1 on the top anymore.
Yeah, so the degree of the top is 1 because it's just an x, right? And at the bottom is also a 1. So they're equal, correct? So that's scenario 2. So what is the leading coefficient of the, you gotta divide the leading coefficients. What's the leading coefficient of the numerator?
X minus 6?
The leading coefficient is the number in front of the highest power. What's the coefficient of the variable with the highest power?
I don't know.
Right? There's nothing there, so it's a 1. See what I mean? And same thing for the denominator. There's just an invisible 1 here. So this is the step for the horizontal. Just got to put that. So the answer would be y equal to 1 divided by 1, which is 1. Like if this was 2x minus 6, you'd have a 2. And if this was like a 3, then you'd have a 2 over 3. Like for example, if it was like this, then this would be 2 and 3, and this would be 2 and 3. Does that make sense?
You just added 2 and 3 on there.
Yeah, I was saying if this was the question, this is what you would do. But this one was a little boring, so there were just ones.
Yeah.
I just wanted to change it real quick so it's more obvious. Because when there are ones, I'm like, well, when it's too easy, sometimes you can't see why that happened. Let me change it back. Oops, camera messed up. Get clear. Okay, so back to the actual program here. So now we can answer the question almost. We have a vertical at 2, so 2, 0. We have a horizontal at 1, so y equals to 1, so the 0, 1 would be fine. Okay, so we got two asymptotes.
0, 1?
0, 1, yeah. It could be anywhere on the dotted line you can choose.
So not 0, 0 anymore?
Right, because it's the degrees were equal. The asymptote horizontal changed. If you read that based on that note I sent you. Any questions on the asymptote part?
This is this is still confusing to me, sir.
Which part? The vertical good?
The vertical and well, I think I understand that if both have like x minus 6 over x minus 2, if they're both 1 in the numerator and denominator, then the horizontal would be 0, 1. That's what I think I understand. But if it doesn't, only one of them does, then it would be 0, 0.
It has to be y equal to 0, but you gotta plot it with 0, 0 on the graph. So y equal
Yeah.
to 1 is the actual line that you graph going straight across. But the way the program works, you got to give it a point on the line, and then it makes it all the way across. You can't just
Yeah.
say y equals 1 and then it'll do it. So you got to do 0, 1 or 0, 0, like you said.
Yeah. Um,
So you have to check the degrees before you start the horizontal part. And look at the
and what
notes.
about the vertical? Like, how do you know which? Like, what about the vertical?
Vertical is always the same. There's not three scenarios. It's just one. You just look at the bottom and set it to 0. So it's always going to be wherever it's at.
Yeah. So the vertical for like the bottom, like x minus 2, for example. Do you do the same thing like you did for like the previous question?
Oh, say it again. Yeah. You set the x minus 2 to 0, solve for x. That's the location of the vertical asymptote. Then you go plug it in to 0.
That does become 2, 0.
Excuse me.
Do
Yeah,
you do like the
wherever.
x?
One more time.
Do you do like the f of x, like the other question where you had like 2 and then 1/3, or for example?
Yeah, that's the next step because we need 2 points on either side, right?
Yeah.
So step 1 is find the vertical. Step 2, here, let me make a note here. Step 1, find vertical asymptote. Step 2, find horizontal. Step 3, plot 2 points on either side of
You said either side?
sorry, I should say both sides. You're right. Of the vertical asymptote. So either side of 2. Sorry, 1 second. Trying to decide if I don't think I can fit it in that spot. Let me turn the page. Make a little table. Okay. Remember, f of x is, already forgot, x minus 6, and x minus 2, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to pick 0. It looks like it'll make it an easy one. 0 minus 6 over 0 minus 2, that'll be negative 6 over negative 2, which is a 3. So output 3, 0, 3 is the point. So plug in any number you want, but make sure you're still in the box of the program, but also on 2 on either side of your vertical asymptote. So now I'm going to choose another easy one. 3 maybe? Three minus 6 over 3 minus 2, that will be negative 3 over 1, which is negative 3. All right. Now, I'm just going to pick random ones. The vertical asymptote was x equals 2, right? I'm going to pick 1, I guess. So that'll be 1 minus 6 over 1 minus 2. So that'll be negative 5 over negative 1. Oh, that's a nice one. Cool. 5. One more. So I got 2 on the left. I need 1 more on the right. So let's choose 4, I guess. So that'll be 4 minus 6 over 4 minus 2. That'll be negative 2 over 2, negative 1. All right, cool. We got all our points. That'll be 1, 5, 1, 5, 4, negative 1, 4, negative 1. Well, my 4 points.
I can't see the 4 points
Right.
on the bottom. I mean, like the work on the bottom.
Let me switch over for a sec.
So instead of like doing it to where it's like 2 minus 6, 2 minus 2, you just added numbers that were high enough to subtract, sir?
Say it again.
I was wondering if it would be a possibility if you subtract, like you would subtract 2 minus 6 and 2 minus 2, because 2 minus 2 would be 0, and then the top would be negative 5.
Yeah, I can't use 0 because it's restricted, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the bottom cannot be 0. You could have chosen 6 and make the whole thing 0.
What if you just made like 8 or something?
Yeah, I think 6 would have been a good one. 8 would have given you a fraction, but it would have been fine.
So you can't get a fraction?
No, you can. I'm just being weird, trying not to get them.
Oh.
There's no reason. Like I said, you can plug in anything you want. Just stay within this box. Okay. Can you all see the homework?
Uh, 9 minus 8.
Okay. So that'll be 0, 3, 3, negative 1, 5, 4, negative 1.
4,
There's your graph.
6.
The questions on number, whatever this was, 7?
I don't know if mine will work, to be honest. Because, like, I can choose any number, but then I'm more concerned about if the number is even correct.
You can choose anything, just make sure you plug it in and then do the math correctly.
Well, I I chose the I chose it, and then suddenly I have it wrong again. I don't know how I don't know, like, if it's supposed to be because of a certain way mine's organized. I don't. You gotta. I would have to show you for you to understand,
Yep.
basically, because
All right, well, we're almost done. We'll do some homework after.
I keep getting it wrong every time, sir.
That's frustrating. Sorry, man. We'll figure it out. This will be the last example, and then I think it's the last one. And then we'll do some homework if you want. No big deal. Find the equation of let's see, but what camera is this? Camera. Of the function that meets the given conditions. So basically, use everything that you learned about graphing and rational expressions to pick the right graph. We got x-intercepts. We have a vertical asymptote. We have a horizontal asymptote. Y-intercept. Yeah. Well, should be equals. All right. So for the x-intercept, so that's kind of a clue. So basically, they're giving you clues and they want you to find out the graph with a function. So if we have vertical asymptote at x equals to -5, then we know for sure, right? For sure, we got to have x plus 5 down here. And if the horizontal asymptote is equal to 1, then the degree of the top and bottom had to be the same based on the notes that I sent you. Also, if these are the zeros, then you got to have these factors up here, the opposites. Okay. And since I need them to be the same degree, and I have no other information, that y-intercept has to give us another hint. If I plug in 0 and everything disappears. Hold on. If I plug in 0, I get 3 times -5 on the top. So the only way to make it a fifth would be if this was square. So if you multiply everything out, you're going to get, let's see, x times x times that, 3 times x, 3 times -5. Multiply this out and you'll get x squared plus 10x plus 25. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be this. So minus 5 to 3. So which of our answer choices looks like this? That's a good question to test you on. You understand intercepts. You understand the vertical asymptote. Can you figure out the rest of the graph with the horizontal and this intercept hint? So it looks like it's going to be the last one here. So this is a little weird. So just remember, rule things out that don't make sense. So right away, right? You could have used a process of elimination. Like I went all out on it, but we could probably figure it out pretty quick because on the top is easy to find. So though anything that isn't minus minus is going to be wrong. So B is automatically wrong, so is C. So now it's down to A and D. And then you can plug in the intercept point into A and D and see which one does it works for. Right? You could do this as well.
I don't understand, sir.
So you could plug in the 0. Once you eliminate these, because these are obviously wrong, right? So plug in 0 into all of these and make sure you get this. So whatever gives you this has to be the right answer.
Couldn't you just plug it into the calculator and it gives you the answer?
Yeah, I can, but if I don't give you these, then we can't, right? But
What?
you need to, if you don't have the multiple choice, then no, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure, but the point of the whole problem is not the answer, is do you understand how to use this and this? That's the goal.
I'm quite lost, sir.
Which part?
How you got to that point of adding everything in?
Which point?
Like you have everything, but you started with like +3, -5, and then x plus 5.
Yeah, I started with nothing. So the +3 and -5 came from these values. So the opposite will be the factors, right? So this hint with -3, 0, and 5, 0 is going to give me these two factors.
So like the ones you got would be like x. Everything would be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And then what
Yeah,
about the bottom?
because x-intercepts give you 0 are the zeros, so it has to be factors that would make it 0.
How did you get x plus 5 though?
Well, okay, so you understand the top part then?
Yeah.
So the bottom part is from the vertical asymptote because the value has to make it 0, so it has to be a +5. It has to be opposite. This is the restricted value, so we're working backwards. So before we would be given this, and we would find this one, right?
So you turned that into a plus, and then you squared it.
Yeah, just work backwards.
All right, I get it now.
So once you have those pieces, you can pretty much choose the multiple choice pretty quickly.
Mm.
Because you can see like right away, 2 of them are wrong because it's not going to match the numerator. All right. Okay, let me take roll and then we can do some questions.